As winter approaches, the crickets realize their lifespan will come to an end, and in order to propagate the species, eggs must be laid, eggs that will hatch the following spring. As a result, activity is now greatly increased. At night, one feels as if he is intruding in their domain, and this feeling is well justified, for they were on this earth long before we humans arrived. In fact, their ancestry dates back to the trilobites. Meet Mr. Oecanthus quadripunctatus, the source of that amazing song, a rather complicated scientific name for this gentle and interesting creature we know as a white tree cricket. His body is about a half an inch long. He has two well-built wings folded over his back, and being a member of the insect family, he has a head, a thorax, abdomen, and 6 legs. The rear 2 legs are powerfully built and are designed primarily to enable him to jump great distances. Mother Nature has taught Mr. O to sing only under the protection of darkness, lest he become a meal for some hungry bird. His favorite food is the bud of the squaw bush. He usually hides out in dark places and waits patiently. What is it then that causes this quiet and mild-mannered gentleman to produce such a unique and interesting song? Now, if you haven't already guessed it, meet Mrs. Oecanthus quadripunctatus. She is about the same size as Mr. O and has 2 very small wings folded over her long, slender body. Crickets cannot bite or sting. Their only means of defense is to use their large hind legs to jump away from danger. The long antennae are used for smelling and feeling objects. We generally think of insects as bugs, as rather mean and grubby things that either bite or sting. But if we take the time to look, we can see how harmless and very interesting crickets are. And with a closer look, we can see how every part is most perfectly formed. Every joint and socket in these 3 parts of mouth parts are finished off with incredible precision. The ears are in the lower part of the front leg, and under the microscope, the eardrum can be seen. Without the microscope, the eardrum cannot be seen. This eardrum is enlarged over 1,000 times. How does Mr. O produce his song? His large wings are crossed with bony veins, and under the microscope, we see a row of 49 teeth attached to one of the veins. This is the comb. A similar one is on the other wing called the file. And by raising his wings to a 90-degree angle and rubbing them together, he produces his song. This is the row of teeth or file on the other wing and measures about 1/16 of an inch long. This expert musician actually produces a musical trill that normally corresponds to the third F above middle C on the musical scale. Now let's observe the action of Mr. O at half speed and listen to his song. Let's reduce the speed again. To produce this musical trill, Mr. O.E. Kentis is, by the motion of his wings, causing the file to strike 18 teeth of the comb. This causes both wings to vibrate and resonate, producing his interesting sound. At half speed again. The poet Hawthorne said, "If moonlight could be heard, this is what it would sound like." Mrs. O can hear his mating call at great distances and is attracted to it. How does Mr. O further entice his lady friend? On top of his back, underneath the wings, is a metanotal gland that produces an alluring scent that attracts Mrs. O. She is enamored by the scent and comes ever closer to him. And the meeting is completed. Three days after meeting, she will look for a place to lay her eggs. The ovipositor is about 1/4 of an inch long and is used to deposit the eggs. The end of the ovipositor is well equipped to drill a hole in the bark of the squaw bush. The head of a common pin is compared to the size of the hole. The hole is 1/16 of an inch deep. After the hole is drilled, she inserts her ovipositor and lays her eggs in the soft center of the twig. She then chews off a small piece of bark and places it in the hole. The sap from the squaw bush soon seals the hole completely. Carefully splitting the stem lengthwise, one of the eggs can be seen. Nature's method of hibernation are varied and many. This egg will hatch next spring to propagate the species of the commonly known white tree cricket. And so, life will go on to one of Mother Nature's favorite creatures.